Yes, indeedy. Welcome to Between Taorminas, where dreams are made and
the kids are in school.
the kids are in school.
Yes.
Thank God, huh?
Yes.
Speaking of being in school, me and this guy, back at it.
And what about me?
Graduated man.
Oh, yeah, it feels nice.
The only smart one of the bunch here, huh?
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with being smart?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with you two being in college. I was making fun of the kids that are in high school and middle school.
Yeah, you should make fun of them.
Yeah.
Little snot-nosed brats. All right, guys, so we're not here to talk school. School stinks. We're here to talk sports.
Yeah.
Let's start with Lake Orion High School. Quite the track meet. So they play football or run a track meet? I don't know. Ford Field, last Friday, Labor Day weekend. What was that final?
68-20.
Ouch.
Well, let's look at it here. I mean, like, both sides had to go occurringly well. I mean, Lake Orion's had a very good running attack, but the thing I was very shocked with was Troy Athens' rushing defense. You look at their last two games, the Troy Athens Redhawks rushing defense allowed, in the first week they allowed 396 yards from Warren Mott and 6 touchdowns. Last week it was 488 yards, 448, excuse me, and 8 touchdowns. To me, that says to me, like, Troy Athens' running defense is not very good, but also Lake Orion does have a very good attack with their track stars. It felt like I was watching a track meet out there. I asked this question. Had Troy Athens not scored that touchdown at the beginning of the second half, does Lake Orion score as many points as they did? 68 points is very impressive for any team. Troy Athens had the potential to do very well, and in the end, they haven't lived up to expectations. 1-2, you know what I mean? Like, if you look at it here, Lake Orion's supposed to do what they're supposed to do. They're 2-0 for a reason. They got West Bloomfield this week. Yep. The teams that have really been shocking me, besides Troy Athens, of course, Stony Creek's 2-0, and Rochester just beat Troy. But the team that really disappointed me from out of our coverage area has been Grand Blanc. They're 0-2. I mean, like, they've lost. They had all this hype about them, and then look what's happened to them. I mean, like, Grand Blanc, it wouldn't surprise me if they don't make the playoffs this year. Well, but you look at how, back on Lake Orion for a minute here, 68 points is a very, very impressive number. It's not just the first string that was scoring the points. It was second string. It was, trying to prove themselves. And you look at coming up, they play a West Bloomfield team who has athletes, but the thing I noticed about West Bloomfield is that they're not as athletic as they were last year, but they're a lot more disciplined this year. West Bloomfield had a pretty good win week 1 over Jackson. Jackson's not that good, though. Well, but then obviously playing Clarkson week 2, that's kind of tough for, the way Clarkson's
tough
playing.
for anybody to play.
Except like Orion.
Yeah.
Well, all right, let's get back to this game, though, on Friday. You look at rushing, obviously, is a huge pro. 448 yards, that's crazy. 68, no problems with the offense, right?
No.
Defense, do you see anything that stood out to you?
Well, I mean, like, besides the 76-yard touchdown they allowed in the third quarter, was really discouraging because I thought Lake Orion had all that speed that they could handle, that, like they could try to stop the receiver, but they couldn't get it. That really shocked me, you know what I mean? Maybe this defense, was, they're a good defense, but I just could not figure out that third touchdown. You know what I mean? There was a couple things that I noticed, too. When Derek DeLora got that one pass, this was right before the Miller touchdown. When he completed that pass, that gave him a lot of confidence as far as, like, because there was a lot going in about can he pass the ball in that type of environment. And that this game proved that he could. But with the defense, in terms of defense, the defense did not perform well. But I mean, to be honest, they gave up 20 points. But the first one was not. No, it's not terrible. But the first one, wasn't their fault
because Delora fumbled the ball
right
at the 6-yard line.
And the second
12-yard line, excuse me.
And then so I mean, the defense is doing their part, but can they be better? Yes, I think that they can be better. I think this whole team, and the thing about this team, we talk about their track guys. It felt like watching a track meet.
Right.
But I mean, the thing is, this team can seriously still improve. They can still seriously. I mean, they shouldn't be content. There's no reason for them to be content. And if you look at how they played, that wasn't even their A game.
Nope.
And a lot of people are saying it is. And
So are you saying they can score more than 68 in a game?
Yes.
I think it's going to happen this week.
It could
Against
happen. It
West
depends.
Bloomfield.
It could happen. It depends. It really depends how, I don't think they scored 68 points had Troy Aston scored that first touchdown in the beginning of the second half, though.
What was the score at that point?
34 to 13.
13.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, had they not scored that, it would.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. So having a high-powered offense like that, does it even matter the shortcomings on defense?
Defense matters in this league.
Defense
it does
matter.
But will their offensive prowess surpass their defensive flaws? No, can't do it.
Last year is a great example of having a good offense, but you need a defense. You look at how many points the Clarkston game provides a perfect example. How many points did they give up last year against Clarkston?
38.
And how many points did Lake Orion score?
31.
31 is a high. 31 wins you games anytime. But you give up 38 points. You need the defense to do well.
Right. Obviously.
Well, obviously, yes. What defense is the pride and jewel of Lake Orion football.
Mm-hmm.
Ask Michigan.
Offense doesn't matter. Offense, you know what I mean? Offense can score points. They do. But if that defense doesn't play well, then they ain't going to win.
Right.
That's what it is. That's what proved it last year, and it definitely going to prove it this year.
All right, so early on defense, what's the team's biggest struggle? Stopping the pass or stopping the run?
I think right now it's stopping the run a little bit because they've had some issues with that. And also they've had some, especially what really disappointed me was Ortman had a couple good balls passing, especially on third down. They just got to get off the field on third down.
Okay.
The big play, stopping the big play.
That's what I said, trying to get off the field on third down.
Stopping the big play, that's what cost them last year. They're showing a little bit of signs, not as much signs as last year, but stopping the big play is going to be because Troy Aston's points came off of big plays.
Right. You look at the offense. You mentioned the track athletes. A lot of those guys are still pretty young, juniors. Defensively, need maturing. What's the deal there?
They're mature.
They're mature enough, but I think if they look at it here with this defense, I think that they're okay right now, but just wait till they play some tough competition. They'll really know about them.
All right. So speaking of competition, this week, West Bloomfield.
That's gonna get ugly. I'm gonna say Lake Orion wins.
Let's have a prediction.
I'm gonna say Lake Orion wins. I'm gonna say they're gonna put up 70.
70.
It's gonna be 70-14. Lake Orion.
I'll take the under on total points there. Just saying. All right. What do you think? What do you got?
I'm not going to release a score, but I mean it's either going to be it could be ugly.
Is it going to be pure domination, you think?
It could be. I think it could be ugly unless West Bloomfield controls tempo of that game. In the game, it's going to be ugly.
So what's the book on West Bloomfield? Are they a pathetic team or what?
No, they're good. They got athletes. It's just
they got a very good line. But we'll see what happens.
Okay. Well,
they've got athletes. They've got athletes, but I mean, they're fast. But the thing is, how disciplined are they? That's
all right. Well, we'll get to that next week, do a little recap. When we come back, we're going to talk Tigers here on Between Taorminas.
Prescription drug abuse is a national epidemic. The new in way to obtain drugs is through parents' or grandparents' medicine chests. Removing prescriptions from your cabinet is the best way to keep drugs out of the hands of our young people. We've got to work together to protect our teens, our seniors, and our environment. Clean out your medicine cabinet today. Please participate in Operation Medicine Cabinet and drop off your unwanted or expired prescriptions at one of our law enforcement drop-off sites in Oakland County. We can't ignore this situation anymore.
We want a Habitat home.
I love working on my Habitat home.
Soy dueño de una casa de Habitat.
My neighbor is a Habitat homeowner.
Being a Habitat homeowner has changed our lives.
My mortgage payment for Habitat is less than what I paid for rent.
Habitat for Humanity of Oakland County currently has homes available with mortgage payments lower than most rent payments. If you or someone you know needs decent and affordable housing, call 248-338-1843 or visit our website at habitatoakland.org.
Welcome back to Between Taorminas here on Orion Neighborhood Television. Thank you so much for joining us today. Boys, I'd like to get into the Tigers. And, I hear at Cedar Point they got a new ride coming out. It's called Detroit Tigers 2012. And it's just a huge roller coaster. Ay, ay, ay. So you sweep Chicago over the weekend.
Yeah,
You're on a high and mighty note. And then
Cleveland comes.
lay an egg to Cleveland, who has won 6 games in like 35.
Yeah, they haven't been the same since July 27th.
Unbelievable. All right, what do you got for me? Talk to me about the Chicago series. Let's recap that a bit.
That was a big series for the Tigers. I mean, like, with Chicago. I mean, like, even though Dunn didn't play for the final 2 games of that series, but do that against Chicago's 3 best pitchers,
Yeah.
They might have to do that again as an encore next week in Chicago.
When we go visit your boy Hawk.
Yeah.
Blah. Anthony, what stuck out to you most against Chicago? What impressed you most?
Delman
with the
Young
Tigers?
stuck
Okay.
out.
Hey, he's not in the lineup tonight, by the way. What's up with that?
He's in the lineup?
He's not.
Ooh, interesting.
Hottest hitter's not in the lineup.
Ooh,
Just saying.
Delman Young
All right.
stuck out because of what he was able to do for the Tigers in crucial situations.
Right.
The way that he bats, the way that they needed his bat. They
Right.
need another guy that impressed me, Brennan Bosch.
Right.
He did pretty well this series
He
too.
is in the lineup tonight.
He's owned Chris Sale in his career. I mean, like, he's had
Yes.
2 home runs.
Yes.
The only lefty that's hit a home run off him has been Bosch, and he's hit 2 of them.
Exactly.
Against Sale.
And, oh, by the way, to straightaway center.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, that hurts.
Well, if you look at how I would say between the Tigers and the White Sox, it clearly talks about who the most dominant team in the Central is.
When
The
you look at
problem
head-to-head, sure.
it's
The
Cleveland.
problem is it's Cleveland.
Vinny Pistano and Chris Perez, that's what's killing the Tigers. Cleveland has lucked out because they've had some timely pitching, and of course, when they play the Tigers, everything just clicks for them. I mean, like,
I don't have
Chicago's got that problem with Kansas City, and this is the Tigers' problem with Cleveland.
Right.
Is it possible though too that that having to play a night game the way that they did against Chicago, and then having to bounce back for a day game against Cleveland, that's kind of tough to do.
It is tough, but these are pro ball players. You know what I mean? I think Leland has them all very well prepared.
It doesn't matter how much more prepared you are. I mean, that's tough to do.
There's just no explaining this season.
No.
You've been on and off the wagon so many times. I don't know. We might have to do something.
Well, right
Strap
now,
you
I
in.
think they're in trouble a little bit here.
Oh, of course you do. They're 1 game behind, and they just swept the division leaders.
Well, because Chicago won last night to beat Minnesota.
Well, that's expected, right?
Yeah.
What should be the deal is we should be all tied up still because we should take care of business. Chicago should take care of business.
Troy hasn't been able to take care of business, especially against Cleveland.
No, they have not. All right. I'd like to throw a name out there for you guys real quick. I don't know how to pronounce the first name. Abisail.
Abisail Garcia.
Yeah. Does this guy look like a stud in the making or what?
I think he's.
Am I getting too caught up into
You're
it?
getting too caught up in the hype, I think, because if you look at it, I think he's disaster in the making.
What?
He is.
How so?
You look at what he's done.
Yeah,
there's been times that he's struck. He looked bad. I thought Nick Callouts would have been called up.
Castellanos.
Castellanos would have been called up also.
He's younger though.
Yeah, but I still think he would have been called out too.
I'm glad he's not. He's too young. I don't want to waste young talent. So you have no faith in Garcia?
No faith.
So 1 year from now, when we do Between Taorminas, will we be talking about him?
No.
You don't think he'll be a mainstay in Detroit?
He will not be a mainstay. I think he'll be traded.
What? For who? Brandon Inge?
No, not Brandon Inge.
Does he make it out of spring training next year?
He'll make it out of spring training. I think Ryan Rayburn will be gone.
All right, let me compare him with another guy. Brennan Bosch. Okay? Very inconsistent outfielder. Getting a little long in the tooth. Not long in the tooth. He's 26 or 27. Garcia's 22, kind of an up-and-comer. Does he kind of fill that role, that void that Bosch is leaving for us?
No. No.
Look who Garcia looks up to. Miguel
Cabrera. Look whose shoes the man wears. Look who the man looks like. Miguel Cabrera.
Well, let's look at it here. I mean, like,
not as big.
With Garcia, I mean, like, they're big. They're equal in weight. They're equal in height. I mean, like, they look like a very similar player. But the problem is, I think Cabrera is stronger than Garcia.
He's also a lot older.
Yeah.
Garcia's better defensively, too. He's fast. He's a good defender. We'll see. All right, I just want to throw the name out there, see if you guys were as enamored as I am.
Nope.
Because I like him.
Nope. I don't trust him.
I don't trust you in any opinion you have to say about the Tigers.
Okay.
Well, all right, what's your panic level at right now?
10.
10? Out of 10?
Yep.
Oh, my God. All right, I'm talking to you for the rest of the show. So, Indians tonight. You've been preaching win series.
Win series.
Porcello on the mound tonight really has struggled against the Indians.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got for me? Bounce back game? Because let me tell you also, we go out west after the series.
Yep, Anaheim. Then you got to go to Cleveland. Then you got Chicago. This is a must-win series.
Okay.
Central Division rival. You've had success against everybody in the division except Cleveland. You got to fix the Cleveland mess. It's crucial to win this series. Anytime you go on the road to Anaheim, that's not easy.
Right.
Then you play Cleveland, and then you play Chicago for 4.
And I think when we
when
we visit Anaheim, that's going to be trouble, I think, because of how we've handled them at home. I think they're going to really get up to play the Tigers when we go out there.
They could, very well could.
And they're trying to cling to playoff hopes.
But
still,
Weaver might not play against the Tigers, so we'll see.
Oh, that'd be a shame, wouldn't it?
No, it wouldn't.
Love to see that matchup.
I don't think it would.
Oh, come on.
I don't.
Remember the old Carlos Guillen bat flip?
Weaver got what he deserved then.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Anything else you want to say on the Tigers? What's going on in your minds? Anything else?
Well.
All right, you're done. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
If Chicago sweeps Minnesota, and the Tigers can at least go 2-3, I think that. I know Chicago still got to play Tampa Bay, and Tigers got to play Anaheim.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to be easy.
I think Tampa's a tougher matchup though. With pitching, you know what I mean? Their pitching's among the best in the league. It's hard to talk about, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I have nothing to say.
It's really hard to muster up the courage to talk Tigers.
Mm-hmm. It's like the Chicago Cubs.
No, it's not anything like the Chicago
anything
Cubs.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
No, not quite. All right, no more words?
No more.
That's it?
Yep.
Go Tigers? Maybe we'll get Dave Dombrowski on the show one day.
Maybe.
Ask why he got rid of Inge. Just kidding. I'll shake his hand for that one. When we come back, we're going to talk a little Michigan State, Michigan, football, basketball, call-outs, doing it all. Stay tuned.
Orion Township presents Barn Days on Saturday, September 8th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Gather up the family and bring them down to Friendship Park to enjoy games, a petting farm, pony rides, food, and fun. Pick up some farm fresh produce at the farmer's market or take part in the Chamber Chili Challenge. Hop on board a hayride, but keep your head low because you just might encounter some Yankees and Rebels who don't realize the Civil War's over. Mark it down on your calendar, Barn Day, Saturday, September 8th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Friendship Park. Cost is only $5 per car. For more information, contact Orion Township Community Programs by calling 248-391-0304, extension 305, or visit www.oriontownship.org.
Welcome back to Between Taorminas. And
Michigan State, party on, soldier. 17-13 win over Boise State. The defense played its part. Offense a little bit iffy.
okay.
Bell played the game of his life, no doubt deserving of Heisman consideration.
Do you think he's a kind of a Heisman
He's a Heisman sleeper.
Heisman sleeper? You think so?
Yep.
But if you look at how Michigan State played, Maxwell,
Midland product too.
Yeah, Maxwell, if he had some jitters playing in that MSU crowd.
He played against Alabama on the Capital One Bowl.
But he had jitters, if you look at it. He had a lot of jitters playing in front of that Michigan State crowd. It's tough playing your first game in front of that home crowd.
He had 255 yards, but 3 picks.
Yeah,
Was
the
it
3
Two
picks.
weren't his fault.
Was it surprising how much State threw the ball? 38 attempts?
No,
That's their offense.
That's their offense.
That's their whole offense,
Didn't we kind of come into the season thinking it's going to be ground and pound? MSU, new quarterback, got these great backs, great line.
Well, Maxwell's got a good arm.
Yeah.
But he's a first year. He's a first year guy. I mean,
Right.
it's like a new offense, pretty much for MSU.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at how they've always been balanced on terms of the wide receivers, the receiving, and rushing.
Right.
You didn't get that in this game.
Well, their defense showed up.
Their defense showed up, yes.
They only allowed 6 points. Their
Yeah.
defense, I think it's still a team that's going to go to the Rose Bowl. This is still a good team that's going to go to the Rose Bowl.
Well, if you look at MSU, they got some things to do. They got some work to do. But overall, I would say fairly impressive, though Boise State's not the greatest offensively.
Central Michigan will cure all problems.
You really think so?
Yes. At Kelly Short Stadium in Mount Pleasant.
You don't think there's going to be any trouble taking care of the Chippewas, huh?
No trouble at all. It's going to be a rout.
What happened a couple years ago?
Quiet. Let's not go there.
All right.
What happened to this team? What happened to this team a few years back in 2007? They lost to mighty powerful Appalachian State.
You and Kyle Wood are in agreement when it comes to talking about Michigan State, aren't you?
All right. So MSU, they handled their business. Expect them to do so the next few weeks. Michigan did not.
Yep. Michigan University, as I call them.
Ouch.
UofM.
I think that Alabama did everything they did. They out-physical Michigan. They destroyed Michigan. They let Michigan hopeless. And I think they're going to get upset this week by the Air Force Academy. Hail Air Force!
I can't agree with you on that one. So watching the Michigan and Alabama game, did you get the feeling that they are not anywhere near on par
They are
with
not
Alabama?
good at all. They are
not that, but just
Michigan did not have their starting running back either because he was.
that.
But I don't know if it would have
Can
mattered
he play
against
defense?
Alabama.
Yeah, can he play defense?
Nope.
I don't know if it would have mattered against Alabama.
I don't think it would have mattered in the least, because when you look at that game, it was a game of men versus boys. It was high school versus middle school, high school versus college, college versus pros. It wasn't fair. Power Puff versus varsity team.
That's life not fair.
Yeah.
That's SEC life for you.
Well, hey, you know what? Kudos to Michigan for taking the matchup, right?
They had to.
That's
under
about the
Rich
only
right
positive
there.
I can come out of that game. They got spanked on national TV.
They're going to lose the Air Force.
They had nothing to lose against Alabama.
Except for their dignity and their pride.
Yep.
Listen, does this change anyone's prediction about how many wins they have this year?
Yes, 7-5.
7-5. And is Denard already out of the Heisman talk?
Yes.
Okay, so he's
You
done.
are so anti-Michigan.
How many times did he even run the ball?
They run it much. They only
No, that's a credit to Alabama's defense.
They only ran it 6-9 times.
I would say that's credit to Al Borges being a stooge. You know, run the ball. That's all I can. That's all I can do. Anyways, so final words. Michigan State. Nothing. Done.
Done.
Michigan loses on Saturday.
Yep.
State wins on Saturday.
Yep.
Okay. Who's up? Do it.
Okay, before I start with the call-outs, if anyone felt offended by the spoiled brat comment earlier on the show, on behalf of our group, I apologize.
Don't worry about it. You're all spoiled brats.
Anyways, my call-out this week. I noticed something when I was at Ford Field. I noticed it when I was during the home game against Oxford.
I could hear the opposition fans screaming their heads off, screaming for their teams like crazy. I turn around, I look at the Lake Orion student section. Where were they? I mean, outside of the first group, the guys that are not wearing the shirts or, I just do not see any screaming. I don't see any passion in the fans. Where are they? I mean, I'm not bashing the parents or, I'm bashing the student section. Come on. The student section of Lake Orion. They take pride in cheering for their team. I mean, I look at the low zone and loco. Ever since the 2002-2003 era to the 2010 era. And it's like their fans were into it every game. I mean, everybody. I mean, from the front to the middle, even the back. I mean, it's just a rowdy atmosphere. It's what makes Lake Orion probably the toughest place to play at in football games. Where is that? I didn't see it last year, except maybe the front row. I'm not seeing it this year. Lake Orion student section, get your act together. Are you spoiled because of what happened in the state championship? Is it because of the lack of competition? I don't know. But really get your act together, especially if you're in the middle or if you're in the back. I mean, show support for your team. Just don't go to these games because you just want to be there. Actually cheer for your team. Come on. That's the reason why you go, is it? I don't know.
Good job.
Well, you take a look at people this week that I look at. I have two of the biggest losers in sports. First one I'm going to call out the Free Press sports writer, who in my opinion is given no respect to Lake Orion. He hypes up these teams. He hypes up the Detroit area.
Caltech.
He hypes up, let's see, Macomb County a little bit. This guy is Mick McKay, Free Press sports writer, known as Son of Swami. Mick McKay, why? Let's look at it here. Do you support anybody north of M59? Do you tell me that? Do you support Lake Orion? I don't think you do. When I seen you in the 2010 championship state games game, you ignored me. You ignored me. And I felt really sad about it. You hurt my feelings on so many occasions.
It's okay.
Mick McKay, I question. Put some more games on there, so you can do your projections. You got some readers that like to read your stuff. Me, I know you write the words Lake Orion. It's Orion. Lake Orion, not Orion. Jeez. Mick McKay, you're like a singer in a pony puff world. That's what it is. Yeah. The next one I think is the biggest loser in radio broadcasting.
What?
I know he's an announcer for the West Bloomfield Lakers.
How symbolic, because this
is Lake Orion's opponent on Friday. This guy is Mike Stone. Mike Stone, why?
Stoney.
Better known as Stoney. Let's see here. You have the nerve to insult an Orion player. I heard rumors about it. And, of course, and according to that, you're probably one of the worst announcers, I heard.
Well, yep.
Mike Stone, if I look at yourself in the mirror here, you're going to be announcing Lake Orion scoring at least 10 touchdowns. I'm saying you're going to be getting like touchdown, Lake Orion, touchdown, Dragons.
Boy.
You and Pat Caputo are good together. I mean, Pat Caputo Pat Caputo came on the show. Mike Stone, you're a stonehead.
Ooh.
You're a stonehead.
Ooh.
You have your show on Channel 7. You are a stonehead.
You think you can get him on the show next week or when you see him? Invite him on the show. Tell him his boy Pat was here. We'll get him on, all right?
We'll see.
All right, boys. Well, we're out of time. We're live. We got to go. We'll join you next week, hopefully with Mike Stone in tow. God bless America.